Hello, guys. So I wanted to share some advice that I'd learnt from another source, from Jordan Peterson. Actually, Jordan Peterson was, or still is, someone who I've always looked up to during self progression, like trying to create self progression. Jordan Peterson has been someone that's taught me something very valuable, I believe, at the beginning of a self progression journey. And I think what I'm going to share is extremely valuable as a way uh, of creating some success or creating a more successful mindset, a more productive mindset, where with just 10 minutes. And all you need to be committed to is 10 minutes to change your life, and 10 minutes a day for a while, I reckon, and these things will change and develop. But once you get into the mindset of changing your environment in a very good way for 10 minutes at a time, lots your eyes open to the possibilities of how you can use those 10 minutes in a different way to create success in your business, creation of business, development of your ideas, all of these things. And I'm going to share that 10-minute idea, and I'm going to counter it with, not counter it, I'm going to provide you with a different example, see which one fits better. Jordan Peterson became very famous for saying, clean your room. And that's literally all you need to do. Spend 10 minutes, put an alarm clock on with your entire 100% focus on tidying your room. And first of all, 10 minutes, you might get something done. You might get something quite good done in that time. But after a bit of thought, the development of how you can improve your room just skyrockets, really. The first 10 minutes might be tidying your room of loads of junk. And then the second time that you do 10 minutes, it'll be about improving the space, like really improving the environment, the setup, changing the order of your clothes in your wardrobe, getting rid of things that you don't need, just moving elements of your room around. Now, for me, it was something that developed and developed, and I have a completely different room now. A room plastered with comic book cutouts. Um, this backdrop, just playing around with different things. I have a whiteboard on the other side of my room. Essentially, it's kind of a whiteboard on the other side of this. I have a desk now, which I didn't have before because I was able to declutter a drawer so much that I no longer needed the drawer. I found smaller spaces for everything that I think benefit me more. This is really important because you put 10 minutes of your attention into something and you realize how much of a difference you can create, and how that can develop into from one thing into another thing into another thing. How, first of all, as I said, it might seem 10 minutes is just the amount of time that you need to get your room back in order. And then if you stick to that for the next day and the next day, after a week, you've put over an hour, or you could, take a day off if you'd really like to, one day off. In a week, you've put an hour into tidying your room. So this time just adds up and adds up. And the things that you can create are exponentially growing. They just grow and grow each day. And that's the same thing that happens when you put your ideas out into the world. First of all, you just kind of put your idea out there, and you do, it's almost like the minimum. Like that first tidying of your room, getting rid of all the mugs and the scrap bits of paper, and doing your laundry. those kind of things. So saying your idea to the world might feel like what's needed, just a necessary amount of something. And then to go back on it and edit your idea, and then to develop it with a piece of design maybe, or a slideshow. These things can all develop into maybe a video, an article. You have maybe some subscribers to a blog after a while. These things, it's just about putting consistent time in, reps, repetition, and it's very obvious how beneficial that is. Also, being able to put 100% focus into anything these days seems increasingly hard. It seems increasingly hard for me because of distractions like my phone, and then all of the things that are within my phone. Distractions such as just going downstairs into the kitchen and being able to make myself some food. Lots of distractions are out there, but being able to have a 100% focus for 10 minutes is quite a game changer. And then I started to do something else, which changed, tidying my room, which was, different to tidying my room, but the same idea applied, because tidying your room is about being able to fix like these small problems that you have access to, and learning almost very small skills that allow you to improve your room. For example, just using your brain. As I said, I cut out loads of comic book strips and I plastered them over my wall. I created this backdrop and just bought a staple gun to do that. So these things are parts of your brain that you wouldn't otherwise use, essentially. So another thing that I've done, and I believe this is really cool and fun, and you could do it from your laptop. I downloaded Canva, which is just a design, quite a simple graphic design website, and you can get free trials for it. And with that, I would just create a theme. I would just think of a theme, ask someone to say a theme, like anything really. It could even just be a keyword, or maybe I'd at times create a few and put them in a hat, and then put a 10-minute timer on, pick one out, and see what I could create on that website with 10 minutes. And 10 minutes to create a design with 100% focus is, number one, really fun, and also you can learn quite a lot. And it's about using your brain to change these physical elements and to have control over something, and see that originally it's just a blank piece of paper. It's just a blank screen, or maybe you decide to use a template and this template's got all flowers over it and some writing, and you don't like those two things, but you like the color scheme, for example, or the fonts. When you dive into playing around there, it becomes really fun. You realize how your ideas can develop so quickly in 10 minutes, and how good you can get at something. And the whole point of this is just training yourself for your ideas to develop. And if you can spend 10 minutes, if you have 10 minutes free, I would suggest that you start to focus it on personal growth in this way, because it's easy. It's just 10 minutes of your time. It's something that you've done before, but something that you might do with a different sort of energy now, and a different kind of focus. And I believe these things are really cool. Canva is a great place to play around. I wouldn't recommend if you have an extensive design background, because it wouldn't be something that you're particularly learning from. It would be what you would do anyway. You want to sort of channel different areas of your brain so that you can think outside of of your norm. And tidying your room is surprisingly one of those areas. You will realize that if you spend 10 minutes tidying your room, there's like very small details that you can change to create greater efficiency. For example, opening your drawer. Do you have the right stationery here? And are there books that you don't know that you no longer need, and some that you do need that could be pulled further forwards? And clothes, maybe you only tend to wear the same 10 tops, so you could just make your wardrobe more efficient by just having those at the center and everything else folded away, out of the way, not distracting you, not taking up too much space. I think these things are really, really cool to start playing around with, to get some personal growth going with just 10 minutes a day.